Yes, good afternoon, students. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
You are not audible to me.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Hello, sir, but unnecessary sound is coming.
Okay, I will solve that problem. I have created a live stream also, YouTube stream. I have shared that particular link on the group. But only that is only for the purpose of I will solve that problem. I have created a live stream also, YouTube stream. I have shared that particular link on the only that is only for the purpose of
Sorry, due to that noise, we are not getting what you're saying.
Okay. Am I audible now clearly without any noise?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Has anybody joined using live stream YouTube? So I'm today I plan to test the YouTube live stream. So anybody can just respond to it. If you are facing any problem with this particular Samvad, then you can go to the live stream. Has anybody opened the YouTube live stream? Am I audible or not? I hope I am audible. If you are not opened, if for someone, if it is possible, open it. It is only for the purpose of testing. I have started my video also. Let me see whether that video comes on the live stream also. My camera I have started. I hope I am visible on Samvad screen, but whether visible and audible on YouTube stream, live stream, I just want to check.
Yes, sir, audible.
Audible on YouTube live stream. On YouTube. Has anybody joined on YouTube? Just it is for testing. You will not be able to speak over YouTube, but messages can be sent on YouTube. Is anybody trying? Or not? Otherwise, leave it, we shall come back to the so it is only in the case if Samvad you are not able to join, then in that case that particular live stream will be available. Okay. Okay, Sheetal Shirole and Shubham Kumamat have responded on live stream. So it is available. I hope the audio and video both are available over there. So that is good. Okay, so we shall now proceed with our assignment. I hope all of you are working on the laptop. Yes. Okay, Sheetal, Rohit, Sheetal, Kale, Vaishnavi, you do not have laptops. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I was speaking for this much time, but uh, I thought I was audible, but later on I got that I am not audible. Okay. Now I hope I am audible, and now we can again start the discussion. So I was telling that in the part one, everyone is finished. Only one thing was uh, to be modified, that is getter methods. I hope all of you have modified those methods. Yes, Aniket, are you there? Aniket is there or not? Yes, all of you have to be there. Are you sending any message? Yes, hello students. I think Aniket has joined now. Okay. But I think you are done with the part one. There is no problem with the part one. So all of you send the part one so that I will be able to verify it. If any problems are there, then I will ask you to correct it. Then in the part one, have you started with the part one? Part two? It will be better if you unmute and speak because the chat is not directly visible to me. I am away from the laptop because you will get noise if I work on the laptop. Yes, scanner method. Sorry, scanner is the class, but you need to use that particular scanner class. So how to make use of scanner to read? Yes. Why there is no response? I hope I am audible to all of you. Am I audible to all of you? Okay, then respond immediately and you work on your laptops. In the beginning, even if you work on the online URL, so that is also possible for small programs. It is useful. Okay, 10 students have responded that I am audible to them. Okay, Aniket has done with part 2. What about the others? What is the syntax of using the scanner class? Yes. All of you can open shared notes, and in the shared notes that can be pasted the statement to read a string. So scanner is the class through which you can read a string from the keyboard. So anyone other than Aniket who has finished this can paste that particular statement here in the shared notes. Is it available in the shared notes? Oh, on my mobile it is not yet opening. Yeah, it is visible to me now. So can anyone, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So can anyone read this? And have you used the scanner, that particular scanner class, uses of scanners class to read a string? Yes. So can someone explain this? What is a scanner? Scanner is inbuilt class. And then what next we are doing there? Scan. What is that scan? Yes, Aniket, explain. See, to read, to display anything on the screen, you are using println. How is that println used? System.out.println or system.out.print. So there you don't need to create any object. You can directly, without creating any object, you can directly print. So you can call this particular method print on the object out, which is already existing in the class system. So, but that is not the case with the scanner class. You need to create an object of scanner class. So what is scan?
Object of scanner class.
Yes, Aniket, you go on. You explain it.
Yes,
Scan
sir.
is the object of.
First of all, we have to import a scanner class.
Yeah,
using
it is means either you can completely import the util package, or you can import just the scanner class. Okay. To import the complete util package, what you need to do?
Instead of scanner, we have to put star.
If you put star there, then all the classes can be imported. Okay, so this is one way of importing a single class, or you can import all the classes. Okay. One more thing is that without importing also you can do it. How to do it? You know that? Yes. Does anybody
No,
know? So what happens when you import here? This particular scanner class is available in the current package. Getting it? Now, which is your package? So far, you have not defined any package. Have you defined any package for this program? No. So your package is default package. So what are you doing here? In the default package, you are importing the scanner class. Okay. Now the another way of using that particular scanner class is without importing scanner class. So if it is not imported, then you need to completely specify its path. You need to completely specify its path. So how to specify that? Java dot am I audible? My shared notes is not visible. It is disconnected. But am I audible, Aniket?
Yes, sir.
So I was typing there. So is it there or not?
No, sir.
Before scanner, I was typing java.util.scanner. If you write java.util.scanner, so let me type now. That particular screen has come. Oh, it is where it is. So Java. Again, it is disconnecting. Why it is happening? I don't know. On mobile. You do that, Aniket, for me. I think because
Yes, sir. Done.
from mobile, if I that shared note screen has gone now. It is coming. So it is what you have to do. Java.util.scanner.
Yes, sir. Imported.
Is it written like that?
Yes, sir. Import java.util.scanner.
So I was telling that without importing scanner class, how it can be used?
Yes, sir. Java.util.scanner we have to return every time we call the scanner class.
So every time whenever you are using scanner, okay, for example, here you are creating object of scanner, that is scanner scan. So there you have to write java.util.scanner. Okay. So in that case, even if you do not import, then that will do. Okay. I hope all others have understood that. Yeah. So java.util.scanner, and again when you are calling the constructor, there again you need to do same thing. Java.util.scanner. Okay. So but writing like this, so what happens there? So if you You everywhere, wherever scanner is used, if you write like this, then unnecessarily the length of your program and clarity of your program does not remain. So that is why usually what we do, we import it and then use it. Okay, so keep that import statement and remove this, but should be known. So that is why I have explained you. So make it as earlier, import statement, and either redo it or again retype that. Okay, so and at the end there should be semi-comma. So I hope all of you are there at the shared screen. Okay, so scan object is created, and what is passed to the constructor of the scanner?
System.in.
System.in. What is system.in? Yes.
Parameter for scanner class.
Yes, it is parameter for the scanner class, but what is that parameter? What is that?
Maybe it is dot in is for input system.
See, in stream, which is it is an object in the system. Getting in is the object in the class system, and that is the standard input stream. What is system.in? So you can call it as in or system.in, but usually it is called system.in, and it is it is standard input stream. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
Getting or not? So you are creating a scanner class. Sorry, you are creating a scanner object, and you are connecting that particular scanner object. You are connecting that particular scanner object with the input stream, standard input stream, which is that system.in. Okay? Getting this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So system.in is your standard input stream, and standard input stream is always the keyboard. Okay, standard input stream is always keyboard. So in the similar fashion, system.out. What is system.out?
Output stream.
What is system? It is output stream. Okay, so to the output stream like this. That is, out is the output stream system.out.print. Okay, so you call a method print on the out. So that particular, and a stream object, stream is nothing but an object. Okay, they are the stream object, and these are the inbuilt object. That is why this particular object. Okay, now what you are doing, you are wrapping. This is called wrapping. Do you know what is wrapping? Here system.in is wrapped in scan. Wrap means what? You put some envelope. Okay, usually you wrap a letter into an envelope, isn't it? Yes.
The nesting.
How do you? Hello. I hope I am audible.
The wrapping from. Yes, sir.
What is wrapping? So if any gift is there, you wrap that particular gift. Okay, so you put it inside some envelope. Okay, isn't it? You put it inside some box. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Huh. So system.in is a stream and it is wrapped into which, what is the wrapper? Scan is the wrapper.
Scanner.
S- Scan. Scan object you have created. The new scan object you have created is the wrapper. Okay. Uh, so uh, then you call means whatever. Now if you work with scan, then scan is connected to system.in. So if you work with the scan, then in turn it will be, so it will be because it is wrapped. So when you are reading something from scan, that means in turn you are reading from system.in. Okay, so that is and every time from this particular, now
Sir, you are not audible.
Hello students, I was disconnected. I hope I am again audible to you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Okay.
so this platform gives a lot connectivity issues. It will be better if we continue with Google Meet, sir.
Then in that case, this particular sharing facility won't be available. So here, what is the advantage? So all of you can get copied this particular code immediately. Okay, so whatever part is required, so that you can get copied. So is it happening from your side also that it is getting disconnected?
Yes, sir. And that
Yes,
mic
sir.
also gets on automatically. And shifting in mobiles are shifting from notes to main screen. It takes very large time, sir. And due to network, it is not loading, sir. Buffering always.
Okay, but in the Google Meet, you will be able to use only the chat box. So that is the problem. And if you,
Sir, it will
anyway,
be
if you
okay,
are
sir. We will
using Google,
copy it from chat box.
no,
Sir.
and if you, okay, okay, let us continue for some time. If not, then we shall shift to the Google Meet then. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So because if required, anyone can edit anything here. That is why that is the advantage available here. That is why I took this. So system.in, that is the standard input stream available. Okay, so you should call it as a stream now. Okay, in is the object, but that particular you should call it as a stream object. I think in the C++, you might have learned about the stream objects. Have you learned about the stream objects in C++?
Yes, sir.
Input stream, output stream. Okay, so in the similar fashion, the inputting and outputting in this Java is stream based. Okay, so here we have connected this scanner object scan to the standard input stream. Now it can be connected to any other stream also. So let us say if you create any file input stream, and in that case, if you connect it to file, then the reading will be from the file and not from the standard input device, that is keyboard. Okay. So various now these are there. That is you have now various methods to read from this particular stream. That is so scan is your now stream, your own string which is inside it. The system.in is wrapped. So scan dot next line, so that will read a line from this particular scan stream. Okay, so unless there is no new line, it will keep on reading from that particular stream. Okay, so like this you can make use of the scanner. Okay, now how you have used here, you have used the product name. Okay, so scan dot next. So by default, the next what the next returns. Of course, you need to go through the library of this particular classes. Okay, so next line will always return a string object. Okay, then even next will also return screen object. So
Yes, sir.
first next line you are used, it is for reading the item ID. Okay, the second time on the scan you are used next, so that is again next returns us and string object, and after that you are expecting an integer, and in that case now you are using scan dot next, and in that case you are using this particular that returns integer and p dot item quantity. So that is going to p is integer, and directly you can store integer over there. Okay, now here there may be little problem that now you are expecting integer here, that is enter quantity remained, so integer is expected to be returned, but by mistake if integer is not entered by the user, then there will be exception here. Okay, so it will not be able to convert that to integer, and we should be able to handle that particular exception. So how to handle that we shall see later. Okay, but as long as you are giving correct input, there won't be any problem, but your program should be such that even if the wrong inputs are given, it should be able to ready to handle those particular wrong inputs also. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I hope all of you are in the shared notes, and you are we are discussing with respect the statements which are there in the shared notes. Okay, and at last the double double number is read. Okay, so like that the different statements, they are read here. Okay, so where this is being read, Aniket, this is in the main program, no? These are the statements
Yes,
in the
sir.
main program. So these are the statements in the main program, and you need to read this, and then you need to pass this particular item, or either you need to create object after reading this, or already you have created object, and now you need to use setter methods. Okay, so by using default constructor, if you have created your object, then you need to use setter method. So you will use setter method to set the what to say this product name. Okay, and then first it was the item ID. Okay, so what is the method to set the product item ID? It is set item ID, no? Okay, set item ID. So you need to use those setter methods. So Aniket, can you take that particular code here? Have you used that particular code to set?
Sir, actually, in this program, I directly directly given the values to
Where?
direct values are given to those item ID and product names and all that.
Where they are given? In the getter method?
No, direct p dot direct access.
Okay, p dot. Yeah. You're done like that, no? Actually, this is discouraged. Okay, now you are not in which class? You are in the demo class, no? Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
P is the object you have created of that product, no? What is the name of the class?
Inventory 2.
Inventory 2. Okay, so P is the object of that, no? So just to,
Yes, sir.
so it should not be done like this. Okay, so why it should
Okay,
not be
sir.
done like this? Why it should not be done like this?
Privacy.
Privacy, yeah. Okay, so otherwise means this is called a breach of privacy. Okay, so that particular product part 2 is the class, okay, or part 1 or part 2, whatever it may be. So it is the class, it is supposed to be, it is used, that particular class is used here. Okay, so you should not access the private members of it. Okay, rather there itself you should make it private. Okay, so item ID, then all these things, all these data members, you should make it private there itself. Okay, so just modify this particular statement here. How it should be modified then? So here I'm modifying it. Okay, so you are written item ID. So item ID, what is item ID here? You can take item ID as, or you can take it as integer. So you'll be just writing int. Oh, automatically that is getting. As soon as I start editing it, my screen goes. So can you edit it? Aniket, edit that. So you give some name to that item ID is equal, int item ID is equal to. Aniket, are you editing it? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
So edit that statement item ID, int item ID is equal to. So you have to give some, you have to create some local integer variable. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
we are calling it as, you give some name to that item ID. It is I is missing there, no? Have you done that correction? Int item ID is equal to scan dot next line. Has it been done? Hello, Aniket.
Yes, sir. Actually, I declare all the 4 variables before after the starting of the main variable, main function.
Okay.
And
yes, you can
just
declare it, or otherwise you can use it, or you can declare it at the first use, at its first use. So many times it is the practice that when it is used for the first time, there you can declare it. Okay.
yes, sir.
So so now that is declaring all the variables in the beginning. So that is the practice in the C language, but in the Java, usually the variables are declared at the first time they are used. Okay. So this also, this point also you can remember. So it does not matter anyway. So so I'm talking about changing this name. So that particular TEM ID, it is looking TEM ID on my screen. What name you are giving?
Same name, sir.
To the integer item ID.
Yes, all the names are same, only the local variables are.
Okay. Okay. So make it item ID. Int
Yes,
item
sir.
ID.
String item
Made
ID.
it. Okay, it is string, no? So that it should not be preceded by int, no? If it is a
Yes,
string,
changes were made.
changes were made, but why? Is it visible to everyone? I'm
Yes,
not
sir,
getting
visible.
those changes.
Yes, sir, visible.
Okay, so that means it is string. So that particular statement after system.out.println enter item ID. After that, the statement would be string item ID is equal to scan dot next line. Is it that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So after that, what should be the next statement? What should be the next
System dot
statement
out
now?
dot print.
No. See what we have done. We have read an integer, and that integer it is in the local variable of the main method. Getting it? All these statements they are part of the main method. Yes, Aniket?
Yes, sir.
So these statements are part of the main method. Now this item ID, which is the local. Okay, so that should go to the instance variable. So what should be written? You should use the statement there p dot set set item
sir.
ID. So that is the purpose of the setter method. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yeah, now the screen has refreshed here. So what you have done? Where it has been read. String item ID scan dot next line. Okay, and then at last you are writing p dot set item ID. Yeah. Okay, so that is the correct way of doing it. Okay. Okay, so this is the this is how you should make use of the scanner class. Okay. Now, if you are using scanner class, then because in the scanner class there are direct methods to read the. There are direct methods to read the integers, to read direct double or the strings. Then that is why you don't need to convert it. Okay, but the problem here is that if you are not your program is expecting integer, but you are not giving integer, in that case there will be exception, and later you need to take care of it. How to take care of it, that we shall see next, or we shall see later. Okay, so in the exception handling that will come. Okay, so now if anything is to be discussed in this particular part, use of the scanner class. Okay, so we create a scan object. It is the stream that is system.in, then only it becomes set. Okay, so scanner that way is the stream class. So now let us move to the next part in the assignment. What is the next part?
We need to create one more method to calculate the total price.
Calculate the total price. Okay, so that method need to be created. So so how will be that? How price is to be calculated?
By the
Whether you have
multiplication of
multiplication.
quantity and the
Okay.
product price.
So here one thing is there, whether okay, you have total price in your this thing. We have created, I think, unit price instance variable. Whether total price is there, whether total price instance variable is created
No, sir.
or not created. It is not created. Okay. So the method is only to calculate the total price, no? So it is not telling that you should store it somewhere and like that. Okay, so it should just return the total price, no? Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And there is no point in storing it. Why? Because otherwise, unnecessarily, it will be a duplicate. That is, you have unit price, and in that case, total price will be unit price multiplied by quantity, right?
Yes, sir.
So what should be, how that particular method should be done? What will there will
Sir,
be a single
edited.
statement probably.
Yes, sir. Return product price into item ID, item quantity.
So in the shared notes,
At the second line, I have edited.
so product part one particular class, inside that particular class, you need to write a method.
Yes, sir. Done.
Shared notes is not visible on my mobile. Okay. So you have created this particular part 2 class that will calculate the value of the each inventory item using the quantity and price. Yes, that has been done. Hello, am I audible? Hello, students.
Yes, sir, audible.
So for each of the product atom, okay, so what is product atom? So you need to create a number of objects, isn't it? Yes. Hello.
Hello.
What is your product atom?
So no, sir, no variables with the name product item. Sir, there is no such variable is present.
See here what they have called create a method in the product part 2 class that will calculate the value of each inventory item. Each inventory item. Okay, so what is, so how many inventory items are there, or what is inventory item in your class or in your program?
4 inventory items. Right.
So that is equal to what? The number of objects you have created. Isn't
Yes,
it?
sir. Yes, sir. 6 objects we have created.
So if you have created 6 objects, then there are 6 inventory items. 4 objects of product part 2, you have 4 inventory items. Okay. So the number of inventory items in your project, it may differ from one project other projects. Getting the
Yes, sir.
name of the inventory item also will differ, isn't it? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So so price is to be calculated for all. Okay, that means what is to be done then? What is to be done? On each object, you need to call the total price method. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so from main program, you have to call total price method, newly created method on each of the inventory item object, and you have to add up all these particular prices, and that will be the total price. Okay, so that is that particular step. So if you could write that in the shared notes, then that will be easy for everyone to get. Whether all other students are getting this, what is that particular step?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So you have defined a method. What is the name given to the method?
Total value.
Total value. Okay. So total value or total item value also you can give. So whatever you feel it's suitable. In the main program, and what should be the part of that particular total value method? You will be having only one statement in that. What will be that? Return
Product price into item quantity.
Product price, okay, or unit product price, whatever it may be the instance variable you have, into product quantity. Okay. What
Yes,
is the
sir.
return type of this particular method?
Double.
It is
Double.
double. Hmm? Double. Okay. Hmm? And in the main program, on each of the object, you will be calling this method. So you can take another variable, double variable, and every time you need to add to it. Okay. So how will be your statements? So you take some double variable. So directly on that, you can call the method for on the first object. While calling on the second object, for example, what is the name you are taken? For example, T you are taken, total price for that purpose. For example, uh, TOT price. Then in the first statement will be double TOT price equal to, then your first item is item object name is I1, then it will be I1 dot total value, and then on the next line, if your object name is I2, then it will be total tot price Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, in between, I was not audible earlier.
No, sir. You are not audible in between.
So I was explaining how to calculate that total. So on each object, you have to call that total value method, and you have to add into a single double variable that you have created in the main program. Got it? Hello? Again, I lost
But
my connection.
sir,
Huh?
they have said to use it in the toString method.
Just a minute. What? Can you read it? Even I am not able to read that particular part which is there on the. Okay, now, okay, I got the control of it. So, what it tells you, see, create a method in product part2 class that will calculate the value of each inventory item using the quantity on hand and price. Okay. So for each of these, that value is to be created, but they are not talking about making total of it, no? And display the information in product tester part 2 for the products as was in part 1. In addition, include inventory value for each product by modifying the toString method in product part 2. Okay. So, okay, toString method, you have to add it. You don't need to add the prices of all the items. Okay. So in the toString, what you need to do in the toString method, so for this purpose, what you need to do? How will be the second step in that
We need
case?
to add one more.
So in the second step, if you are not displaying anything, you are just calculating, then in that case, you need to have an instance variable there. Getting it?
Okay, sir.
So there, the calculate method. So you need to calculate. You need to call that method only as a calculate, and in that or calculate what total price. So that will store that particular total price into it. Okay, and in the last part, that is in the third part, what you need to do in the toString, you will be displaying that total price also. Okay, so already you are displaying the other information. In addition to that, you will display the total price also. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so that is the second part. Okay. So anything to be discussed in this particular second part? The first one was using the scanner class. Second one was calculating. So calculate method. So this particular calculate method, you can see here it is. It will not return anything. Nothing is to be passed to this particular method. So it will just calculate and store it into the total value. Okay. So
okay, sir.
Total price. Okay. And the third one, you will just modify your toString so that it will display the total price also in addition to the item information. Okay, other item information, that is item quantity, item name, like that. Okay, so
So,
it was
sir,
only this much. Yes.
In a constructor, we have to make it 0, or no need to use it in the constructor. The total value.
The total value. See what has happened. What was the name of the class in the first project? It was product part 1, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now you have to rename that particular class as product part 2. Okay. See here, they have written create a new class product part 2.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We have done it.
And product tester part 2 that will add onto the functionality of part 1. Okay. So in the part 1, whatever you are done, so exactly same in the beginning you have to copy that particular part 1. So they are written here, copy and paste part 1 code into new part 2 classes. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the product part 1 and the product tester part 1, so those classes you have to keep it as it is. Okay. So that were your first version. Okay, that was the first version of your program. Now this is the second version of the program. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
So that is what is to be done. So you have to maintain the versions also. Okay. So what is the advantages in maintaining the versions? The advantage is that if you are gone for the next version, see, and if that version does not work, then you come back to the earlier version, like that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now shall we go for the part 3 now, if there is no problem here?
But
Yes.
sir, what I want to say is, in second part we have declare one more variable in the
Yes.
class total.
Yes. Yes.
And I want to say is, in constructor we have to use that variable total to 0. Means in default constructor we have to make it 0 or not.
Yes. Whatever we are doing, that means whatever addition we are doing. So because of that, if any changes are required, then you need to do those particular changes. Okay. Now you added one instance variable. So because of that, now suitably, whenever you are assigning the values, so there also you can do it, or otherwise, what will happen when you are doing when you are calculating it, then at that time it will be calculated. So what will be the impact of it if you do not assign it 0? What will happen? Let us take the case if you do not make it 0. So what will happen? So if you do not make it 0, and if you are calling toString before that, then it will display garbage value. Okay, so if you don't expect garbage value, then in that case it should be set to 0, right?
Yes, sir.
So you can take that particular care that in the constructor you can make it 0. Okay, but of course in the constructor of what? Product part 2, right?
Yes, sir.
Product part 2. Okay, so that is the second version of your project you are doing. Okay. Anything other?
No, sir.
So you do that, no problem. So for example, in the default constructor, are you initializing any values there? If you are initializing 0, 0 or something, then this also you can make 0.
Yes,
And
sir. 0, 0. In default
in the
constructor.
so in the parameterized constructor, what are you doing? You are passing the values. Okay. So there, what can you do? You can because you know unit price also, you know quantity also. So in that case, what you can do? You can modify that particular.
Yes,
what
sir.
can you do?
In that we assign directly means
You can directly
instead of
assign the
taking value from the user, we will directly calculate there.
you have to calculate there. Okay, so no need to pass that particular value. So you have to calculate it. Okay. Then one more care you can take. For example, when you are changing the quantity. Okay. For example, set quantity is there now. So in that case, if you are setting the quantity, then total price will change. So in that case, you can either change directly there, the total price, or you can call that particular calculate method, right?
Yes, sir.
So whenever quantities change or whenever prices change, then you can calculate. Then you can call the calculate method there. Okay, so that can be done. So of course that depends on what are the requirements. Getting. So it depends on the requirement. But so if you want everything to be up to date, then in that case, immediately whenever your quantities change or whenever your unit prices change, you need to calculate the total value. So all these things you should take care of. Okay. So anything else then in this?
No, sir.
Okay. Other students, let me get a quick response from all of you. So up to this project part 2, everyone is comfortable, everyone has done, or if not done, if some modifications are required, you understood what is to be done. It is very important that you should run the program, you should write the program on your own. Of course, the code, every code we are discussing here, so you can pick up the code from here also. Of course, when depending on your this thing, your particular part of the project, when it differs, then in that case the code will be different. Okay, so we shall move to the third part. So whether the third part is visible here, I hope it is visible.
Yes, sir.
So let us go through it then. So this project will process from basic classes. Okay, so that is the overview they have given. So I think everywhere it is same. From basic Java classes and methods to IO arrays and inheritance. I think so. Inheritance, that was not there in the last one. Maybe in this they may be asking. Then for each part there will be more to add until it builds into a complete Java application to maintain inventory. Each part will build upon the last, so both the old and new requirements are met. Include all parts. I think this is same in all the projects, right? The first paragraph.
Yes, sir.
Project overview is same for in all the project. Okay. So now let us read the topic part 3. Okay. So array of object for loops, right? So in this they are asking to create the array of object. Now earlier we didn't create array of object. For example, we created the object with product part 1, maybe P1 equal to P2 equal to, and like that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now what is to be done here? Create new class product part 3 and product tester part 3 that will add onto the functionality of part 2 project. Okay, so you have to, as it is copy, you have to create two classes, new classes, that is product part 3 and product producer tester part 3, and you have to copy as it is the product part 2 and producer tester part 2 into this particular classes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So after it is being copied, then what is the first step? Modify product tester part 3 to handle multiple products using an array of products. So you have to modify it. That means wherever you are creating the statements, individual statements to create the object, so you have to modify those particular statements. So how to create array of objects? So have you learned how to create array of object? What is the syntax for creating array of objects? Yes or no?
Not in Java, but in C++, we have learned about this.
Okay, I was going for Paul. So if no, then I will stop that. But hello, hello, students.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Again and again, my connection is getting disconnected today. Uh, okay, so uh, no, you need to look at the creating array of objects. So syntax of that. What is the syntax of it? Can you come to the shared notes? Have you gone through the uh, literature or this learning material where the array of object is created? Yes or no? Not yet. Okay. So you have to parallelly proceed with the course which is given to you. Okay. So who is typing there? Aniket, can you type there? I will just dictate you how to create the array of objects. Okay. For example, what is the name of your class? Type the name of your class. Project part. Product part 2 is the name of your class. Okay, someone has come up with product part 3. Okay. So from where you got this? Don't call it as P1. Yes, keep it only P. And new product part 3 and 3. What is that 3 inside? What is that 3 inside? The size. The size of that particular you can say the objects. Okay, so here whether the objects are created here, what do you say, whether the objects are created or not created?
Yes, sir, created.
No, actually we are not creating any objects here. Then what are we doing here then? We are writing new here, no? Isn't it? Are we writing new here? We are writing new here. Then what is created here? What is created? It is the reference of object type product part 3 are created. What we call this as? You can if required you can write there references of product part 3. Okay, product part 3. Okay, so these are the references, or you may call it as reference variables. Okay, so if you have any objects, of project part 3, then this particular object, or if you have reference of product part 3 objects, then these particular references, they can be assigned here. Okay, so for example, on the next line, on the third line, you can type product part 3. Go to the third line, product part 3 in square bracket 0, in square bracket 0 equal to new, and now product part 3, call some constructor of product part 3. Okay, so you have many constructors. Okay, so any one of the constructor we have to call. Okay, so if you are not passing any parameter, you are calling the default constructor, but if you are passing some parameter, then appropriately you need to call that. Okay, so this is how now the first element in the array has been assigned with the object. Okay, whereas the value that is assigned to the remaining, it is null. Okay, nothing is has been assigned to it. Okay, now you can take that particular line, you can insert in some line in between before the third line, so that you can take this particular statement in the loop, for loop. Okay, so how many objects you have? 3 objects. So take this in the loop. So make a for loop for int I is equal to 0. Take this particular object. Am I audible, Aniket?
Yes, sir.
So take that object creation in the loop. Okay. So this is one statement. So it is creating only one object. Okay. Now how many objects we need to create? How many inventory items we have? Three. So you need to create three. Or there. So there are, let us say, 5 items. Have you made it 5? It may be that my shared note screen is slow and coming late to me. And how should be the for statement done? Have you written for statement?
Yes, sir.
Hello students, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so shared notes, I am opening shared notes. So have you written in the shared notes? For loop is opening. So what statement is written? Can you read it out before it comes to me?
For int I is equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. In that product part 3, P of I is equal to new product 3.
Yeah. So I got that screen also. Okay, so this is how using array the products are created. So how many objects we are going to create here? 5 objects. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now because we are creating the object in this fashion, so whatever statements we have written in the product part 2 are and has been copied into product part 3, so all those statements should be removed, isn't it? We are modifying
Yes,
this.
sir. Yes, sir.
Then now here we have we are not passing anything to this. Okay, so in the case we need to pass certain parameters to it, then in that case what need to be done, that is, if we want to read it from the user from the keyboard and then we need to enter it here, then in that case those particular scanner statements, the scanner statement, it should come in the for loop. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
So information of each of the product, so that should be first read, and appropriately this particular product part 3 class should be modified. I hope all of you are getting this particular changes. So whenever you are developing your program, you are moving from one version of the program to the next version of the program. You should understand what changes are to be done and how these particular changes are to be done. Okay. So would you copy this particular those statement, Aniket, here? Scanners reading from the scanner.
Okay, sir.
And then you will call the constructor in which all parameters are passed. Getting?
Okay, sir.
So I hope all other students have also understood this. Yes.
Hello, sir. Sir, you are not audible.
Now audible or not?
Yes, sir. Now you are audible.
Okay. So you are read in the share. Now I am referring to the shared notes, the code in the shared notes. So from the keyboard, the item ID, item name, or the product name, then item quantity and item price for product price has been read, and then these particular values are passed to the constructor, okay, while creating that particular object. Okay, so what values are passed there? Item ID, product name, item quantity, and product price. Okay, so this is how that particular program has been modified. Okay, so I hope everyone has understood this. what about total price? Actually, total price, whenever you call the constructor will take care of it, isn't it? Aniket?
Yes, sir.
So there is no explicitly need to write the total price here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
In the constructor, in the part 2 itself, we are calculating the total price. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
So-
In next time we will prepare a second part and third part as well.
Okay. So now what is remained in the third part now, or we are at the first one. Okay. Now tentatively we shall not go for the code, but tentatively we shall discuss, or you read it, and if you find any difficulty in going for this particular part, let me know. What
Sir,
is to be done? What is the second?
3 step already we are done with.
Okay, ask the user to enter the number. Okay. So we already done the second step. Okay, using for loop, ask the user for the input value. So that is already done. Now what is the
Only
fourth step? Only use another for loop to display the information one product at a time, including the item number, name, and product, the number of units in stock, the price of item, and the value of the inventory, and the value of inventory of that particular product. Okay. So so another for loop you have to use, and toString method you have to call in that particular Okay. So I think that will not be much difficult.
Yes, sir.
Step 4. Okay, one note has been given. What is that note? Object class product 3 remains the same as product 2. No modifications necessary. So are we doing any modifications in product part 3?
Yes, sir. We are deleting all the objects.
But that is in tester, no? Objects are created in tester class, that is product tester 2.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So are we going to make any change in the product part 3? That is, whatever we have copied product part 2 into product part 3. So is any change made there in the product part 3?
No, sir.
No, that is what is the note is. Okay, that is product part 3 remains the same as product part 2. No modifications necessary.
So, sir, we can't create a method display. That's what they want to say.
It is no, it is already there, no?
That's a toString method, sir.
ToString is already there. Okay, so you have to just call that particular toString in the loop. Okay.
Yeah.
And,
okay, sir.
No modification is required in that method. Whatever method available in product part 2, which has been copied to product part 3, so no change is required there. Getting?
Yes, sir.
So in this project, what they have done, they have just asked to make the changes in product tester part 3. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
attendance, sir.
I think so. I think all of you seems to be tired. Yes.
Yes, sir.
And even some of you are feeling sleepy. So even if your faces are not there in front of me. So anyways, but how much time you have now in your hand? Only 1 week you have, okay?
Yes, sir.
So in that week, you need to finish up with your project. So we shall go through the project part 4 and part 5, okay? And if required, then at last, after you finish up with the part 5, then if required, if any changes are to be made, any updations are to be made in that, so I will let you know, okay? So sequentially you will go up to part 5, okay? So whether all groups have been made? I think I could see 3 groups there. So how many groups you are expecting? 3 only or 4? Whether everyone is there in some group? Any problem? No. Yes, Saili. You are not audible, Saili. You are not audible. Keep your mic on and speak. What you are doing, I think you are keeping it on, then speaking, and immediately keeping it off or turning it off. So that is why not audible. Or otherwise text.
She is saying, sir, that she and Nikita Nikam are remaining.
Okay, okay. Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Saili and Nikita, you join some group then. How many are there in remaining groups then? Yes, every group leader you can speak. Aniket, you are 4, no?
Yes, sir.
Then next group.
Shubham Kumar 3.
How many are there? In some group there were only 3.
Yes, sir. Shubham Kumar group is 3 and Vaishnavi Naikwadi group is 5.
Vaishnavi Naikwade group is 5. So we can make that particular group, which is the group which is of 3. So we can make that 5. So 2 of you join that particular group. Is that all right? Yes. So that will be 5, 5, 4. 3 groups will be there. Right? Yes, Sheetal and Saili. Sorry, Nikita and Saili. And also this 3 students who are there in the group. Shubham.
Sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So your group is of 3, so those 2 girls will join your group, so that it will be of 5.
Okay, sir.
Hmm?
Sir, you are not audible.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so those 2 girls will join the group which is in which there are 3 students. Okay, so is that all right? Okay, so there is one facility here of breakout rooms. So if you, when our class is going on, in that case, if you want to discuss in your groups, then that particular facility is there. So quickly you can check that particular facility. So in that I'm creating. Okay, in the next class we shall see that. Okay, you can leave now. Okay, right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.